Hi, all. Thanks so much for tuning in, and happy July. 28 lights for July, and do a little crystal card pick so that you know what kind of crystal to carry around for this month. And it is definitely needed. So this is going to be quite a roller coaster ride this month. Lots of crazy energy out there. So first I want to start by saying happy birthday to beautiful Cancer. So Cancers celebrate their birthday at the end of June, early part of July. And you are all extremely kind, very intuitive, nurturing, and actually one of the most generous of all the zodiac signs. So if you don't have a Cancer friend, you're missing out. So, all right, happy birthday to all you Cancers. And it's time for you to shine bright now. All right, Mercury is in Leo. Mercury is the planet of communication. It is in Leo all month. So all of us are going to be getting some great creative ideas. So be sure to write those down so that you can work on those. And we'll have a desire to speak our mind and be a leader. So go for that. We have a very unusual month in the fact that we have 5 planets that are retrograde now. So the latest one to enter the mix is Mars. Mars is the planet of our physical energy, our sex drive, and our assertiveness. It went retrograde. Retrograde, the easy meaning of that is it's slowing down. It looks like it's going backwards to us, but it's just slowed down. So the energy is not as powerful as it normally is. So it went retrograde on June 25th. It will be here until August 27th. So it is a time for all of us to kind of slow down a little bit physically. I think a lot of us are feeling physically exhausted, maybe even mentally exhausted. We just don't seem to have as much energy as we normally do. And that is kind of what the energy of this Mars retrograde is. The good thing about it is that it's a good time for us to release any negative patterns of aggression, power and control, that kind of stuff that we see within ourselves. It's a great opportunity for us to be more open to acting out in more humanitarian ways. Okay. So helping people instead of being angry at them. Great idea. Okay. Then we have Jupiter, which has been retrograde since March. It's in the sign of Scorpio, and July 10th, it is going to stop and go direct. So we're finishing up on that. At that point, we should actually have more clarity on whatever problem, whatever issue, whatever we've been mulling over for the past 4 months. Okay. The good news is that after that point, Jupiter's energy is going to surge forward and help us move forward on creating whatever it is that we've been thinking about. So then we've got Saturn. Saturn is a planet of discipline, dedication, and restriction and responsibility. So it's retrograde in early Capricorn. It's been there since April, and it will be there until September. So actually think back to what you were doing from 1998 to 1991, or 1988, excuse me, to 1991, because Saturn was in Capricorn at that point. So you may have some issues that you experienced at that point come back into your life now. And so for me personally, in 1989, I took a huge leap of faith, and I left Iowa, where I had grown up and lived my entire life. And I packed up my little Toyota and drove across country and moved to Arizona, which is someplace I had absolutely loved and wanted to be there. And I continued to live there for 25 years. So that for me was a really big change. And the exciting thing now for my husband and I now, we're actually moving from Iowa because we moved back here a couple of years ago to get him some better health care. And now we are moving across the river, the Mississippi River, to Illinois. So we'll be doing that in August. So I've got that move thing going on in my chart. And Saturn for me is right on the cusp of my 3rd and my 4th house. So 4th house is the house of your home. So that makes total sense. So you guys, if you have your charts, you know, take time to look at where are these planets affecting you. So look for where is Capricorn in your chart. Look for Saturn and how that's going to affect you. Okay. Next, we have Neptune in Pisces. Neptune is retrograde June 18th, and she's going to stay that way until January 2019. So Neptune represents spirituality, confusion, humanitarian things, the arts. So a lot of people are kind of going through this time where they're questioning whatever their religious or spiritual beliefs were when they were growing up. And we're all kind of asking ourselves, does it still work for me? And if it doesn't, then follow your heart and change it. And if you have any desire to, you know, get more involved in music or art, literature, any of that stuff, this is a perfect opportunity for you to do that. So just allow that flow of the Piscean water and your intuition to guide you into what to follow and study. So Pluto, lastly, is the last planet that is retrograde this month. It is affecting Capricorn, 18 to 21 degrees. So it also went retrograde in April, and it's here until September 30th. So this is a big one. I mean, Pluto's in Capricorn for many, many years. And so we've been seeing lots of breakdowns. So Pluto is endings and rebirth. So it's death and rebirth, big transformations. It happens very slowly, but we're seeing this on a political level, on an economic level, because Capricorn represents politics and government and big business and banking. So Pluto's job is to kind of come in as a wrecking ball, but in slow motion, and kind of collapse those things so that we can rebuild them. So we're all actually, we're living that everywhere. So not just in the US, but everywhere. So, but with Pluto retrograde in Capricorn now, this is a good time for you to figure out how can you feel secure in your own life. So, you know, we are going to experience big, massive changes in our economy. So I would say the more you can do for yourself, the better. So the more reliant upon yourself, the better. So, and Capricorn is an earth element. So I would say make sure that you have your own garden, get some chickens, you know, do stuff to take care of yourself. Make sure that you're feeling secure. Put your money where you feel like it's secured. Okay. All right. So those are all the planets that are retrograde. 5 of them. That's a lot. Next month, we're going to have 6. So it's not over yet. All right. Happy 4th of July. Woo-hoo. All right. Yeah, our celebration of our independence. And with all the craziness that's going on in the United States now and all the divisiveness, I am still so grateful and feel so blessed to be an American. And I value our freedom and our independence and our ability to speak our mind. And I'm so grateful for that. So I wish you all a safe and happy 4th of July. Then we've got planetary movement. So Venus, the planet of beauty and love, is going to be moving into Virgo on July 11th. So all of our hearts are going to be more compassionate, which is so needed right now. Virgo loves to be of service. They like to help other people. And so there's a lot of people that need help in the world right now. So this is a wonderful thing for all of us. It's a great time to support the arts as well and beautify your space. Okay. We have this month, the other reason why it's a big month for us is because we also have 2 eclipses. So along with the 5 retrograde planets, we have 2 eclipses. So the first one is a new moon It's at 20 degrees Cancer, and it's a partial solar eclipse on July 13th. So this is going to be a challenging one. New moons are a time of new beginnings, but this new moon is actually in opposition to the planet Pluto. So we're going to see more of this divisiveness, you know, the ripping apart of ideologies. And there's going to be some political extremism. The other challenge is that there's a fixed star named Castor and Pollux in the Gemini zodiac sign and in the constellation. And it's an aspect to this eclipse. And that is kind of a fine line between genius and crazy. And it instigates a fear in us of violence. So what I have found to be interesting and disturbing is that President Trump will be going to England on that day, on Friday the 13th. And I can pretty much guarantee you that he will not be welcomed with open arms. I guess he's going to meet with the Queen, and boy, I'd love to be a bug in that room. But I don't know that it's going to accomplish anything. And then he's off to Russia to meet with Putin. So instead of getting angry and caught up in that, I'm going to ask you all to focus on peace. Okay, just focus on what it is that we want to have accomplished during that time. The good news is we do have a healthy grand trine between Saturn, Venus, and Uranus that day. So that can bring all of us an opportunity for something good and something workable, you know, but we have to take action to reap the rewards. So keep your eyes open for your own personal opportunities, and knowing that Trump is going to be meeting with the Queen of England that day, let's just send them some peace and hope that it can be a healthy conversation. So, all right. Then we've got the sun moving into Leo. Happy birthday to Leo on July 23rd into August. And Leos are amazing. So they're bold, they're courageous, they're creative. Man, you walk into a room and you are noticed. So people see you as the king or queen that you are. And you love those accolades. So celebrate yourself. Have fun celebrating yourself this month in July and August. All right. We do have Mercury going retrograde on July 26th. Now, because we have Jupiter that's going to be finishing up, and Mercury is going to go retrograde, we're still at 5 planets retrograde. Now, a lot of people, when they hear Mercury's going retrograde, they go screaming into the woods. Okay? You don't have to do that. So yes, there can be challenges with Mercury retrograde in communication. It can confuse communication. You think you're being clear, but then somebody hears the opposite of what you're trying to say. If you're doing any kind of contracts, important contracts, then you want to make sure that you read the fine detail, go over it before you send it, okay? Otherwise, there's going to be delays. Also, if you have travel during that time, Mercury retrograde will be July 26th until August 19th. So if you have travel during that time frame, just make sure that you're double checking, you know, your gate, your schedule, get your seat ahead of time, and take a good book with you, because there could very well be some delays. All right. And it's in the sign of Leo, so you'll be more affected. All right. The good news about Mercury retrograde is it actually gives us all a little break, a little mental break. So it's a good time for us to maybe review what we've been working on, revise it if we need to. Most importantly, it's about taking time to relax, rest, and rejuvenate. 5 planets retrograde. I mean, people are calling me up going, oh my God, should I even get out of bed? And yes, you should absolutely get out of bed. Just expect things to move a little bit slower. and it's okay. All right. Lastly, we've got a full moon lunar eclipse on July 27th at 4 degrees Aquarius. Unfortunately, those of us in the United States will not be able to see it, but those lucky people in East Africa, India, and Central Asia will. And it is the longest lasting eclipse in the century. So it will actually take 1 hour and 23 minutes for it to start and finish. Okay. This full moon lunar eclipse also is going to be a bit of a doozy. So it's going to be conjunct Mars. Mars is the planet of anger. Moon is our emotions. So we are all going to be feeling very emotionally intense. The moon is square to Uranus as well, which can create big mood swings. It can cause irrational behavior and compulsive action. So stop in the name of love, okay? Please take the time to think before you act. Now, we do have the moon aspecting Saturn on this lunar eclipse, which is a good thing because it will help us to slow down and breathe and think before we move forward. So do your best to deal with anger in a healthy way. So don't go punch your neighbor in the face because you disagree with each other. Instead, go get a kickboxing bag and hang it in your garage. Or go for a walk, play with your dogs. Do something that will help to relax you and alleviate that extra energy and the stress. So remember to breathe. First and foremost, that is my suggestion for this whole month. Okay, I wanted to give you a little bit of insight. I normally do a tarot card reading every week, but I was really drawn to my Crystal Angel deck. So this is the Crystal Angel deck. It's by Doreen Virtue, and it's beautiful. It has different crystals in it that it recommends working with the energy of those beautiful rocks. And when I asked, okay, what is the rock that we need to be working with in July? What should we be carrying around in our pockets? And this is the perfect stone. So it is watermelon tourmaline. And it looks like this down here. It's this pale luminescent green with kind of a beautiful intense pink in the center. Okay. And the card itself says stress reduction. Perfect. That is exactly what we all need because of all of this planetary movement this month. We are going to need all the help we can get. Okay. So this says de-stress your mind, body, and schedule as you need to rest, recharge, and revive. This card appears whenever there's a need to de-stress. We already know which life area is triggering in our lives. So we know what it is that we need to relax about. God and your guardian angels are empowering you to reduce the stress by taking charge of your schedule and your surroundings. If watching the TV and the politics is stressing you out, turn the damn TV off. Walk outside and do something that brings you joy. All right. You are encouraged to introduce stress management practices into your daily life, such as prayer, meditation, gentle exercise. Get into nature, enjoy a fun hobby, play with your pets, take a nap, eat healthy. All of those things are suggested for this month. Okay. So watermelon tourmaline is a soothing crystal that helps with simplifying and de-stressing your life. Yes, I'm going to go get a great big chunk of that. All right. I wish you guys well. I'm so grateful that you took the time to listen. This information that I share with you is like global. Okay. If you are interested in doing a private reading to find out how the transiting planets will affect you, please reach out to me. My website is katherinemetcalf.com, KATHERINEMETCALF.com, or you can email me at astrologerkathy@gmail.com. So I thank you so much. If you enjoyed this information, I'm just starting out here. So please send me some love by subscribing or liking the page. It's my honor to be of service to you. Oh, blessings.